Hi, welcome to College Prep Chemistry. I am Miss O'Keefe. So, the best way to contact me is via email, and we don't have phones in our classroom, so I'm able to get back to you via email a lot quicker than with a phone call. We are in room 13, and the periods that I am available for help will be for before school at 7:30. So a student would just need to shoot me a quick email the day before to let me know that they want to come in at 7:30 for help, and I'll make sure that I am here by 7:30. After school until 3:30, and on A days, period 2, and on B days, period 1. So, the primary focus of chemistry is to study matter and the changes it undergoes. So, this is accomplished through going into chemical concepts, observing data, experiments, and basically math. So, a couple of things that students need to bring with them every day will be their fully charged Chromebook, a scientific calculator, whatever they use for math is fine. They just need to make sure that it can do exponents. A notebook, probably like a binder, so they can keep all of their materials in there and stay organized. Their notes. This is an anti-pen zone. We make a lot of mistakes in chemistry, so I would prefer if they used pencil. So our classroom rules will be to be respectful to me and to their classmates. They should be prepared for class. That means bringing all of their essential materials, but making sure they have them before they get for class, being honest, and being involved. Some additional rules for our remote students is that all of our classes will be recording. So the recordings are available on Google Classroom for everyone. So if a student misses a class, they should always check Google Classroom to make sure that they're prepared for the next class because they can see what they missed. Um, Students have to be visible on video. The video recordings cannot be reposted anywhere. They have to be in casual dress attire. They have to be sitting upright at a desk or a table, and they have to actively participate with really good speakers in the classroom. So if they have a question or they always want to listen for me to say their name because I was calling them and they're always super surprised by it. All of our tests this year are going to be open note, not open book. So any notes that they have taken, handwritten, they can use those on their tests. Any PowerPoints that I give to them, they can use those on their tests. They cannot use their book. They cannot use any activities or any worksheets that we have used. And of course, they cannot use the internet. Tests are usually given at the end of each chapter. So remote students are going to take their tests through Google Classroom. It'll usually be scheduled for them, and they should take their tests using their Chromebooks. If a student missed the period before a test, which is usually just kind of like the review period, I'm still expecting them to take the test on the period that the test was scheduled for. And that's because I usually give a week advance notice that a test is coming up. However, I do know how students are, so if, other arrangements are made, I'm surely willing to do that with students. Quizzes, just like tests, are going to be open note, not open book, so they cannot use the internet, they cannot use their book, they cannot use any type of worksheet or activity that we used in class. They can just use the PowerPoints and any handwritten notes that they have taken. Once again, our remote students are going to be taking their quizzes through Google Classroom. So they, again, should use their Chromebook to do that. Pop quizzes are always on the table for me. So students should always come prepared with their notes. So if they don't have their notes that day, I'm still expecting them to take the pop quiz, which will put them at a disadvantage to everybody else. So they should always be prepared to have a pop quiz that day or to bring their notes to class. If they miss the period before a quiz is due, they should always make arrangements with me, I still expect them to be able to take that quiz unless it's a pop quiz, because chances are the quiz was already announced. Labs will be completed in 2 to 3 sections, meaning that to allow for social distancing, I will take one section to the lab and the other sections will stay in the classroom and work on something else. And then, of course, we'll switch, which is probably going to make us take forever because labs usually take about 3 class periods. So if we're splitting it up in sections, it's probably going to take about a couple of weeks for us to complete one labs. But I do know how important it is for labs to be a part of chemistry, and the students do enjoy labs. However, missed labs cannot be made up, but the students that are taking the class synchronously will be placed in a lab group, and we do have a video camera over there, so they'll be able to see what's happening and they'll be able to take notes and take data. They just won't be able to physically do, of course, any of the lab things. Lab reports must be submitted through Google Classroom. Homework will also be turned in via Google Classroom. So I see that you're seeing the basically the trend here. So I will not be accepting any paper. So everything has to be turned in via Google Classroom. I do not accept late homework. So homework is considered late if a student just didn't do it, if they didn't turn it in, not if a student was absent and has a valid excused absent. If it's an unexcused absent, then it will be considered late. Homework can include reading and note-taking as well, and homework will not be accepted if it is not written legibly or typed, if it's uploaded in the wrong direction, if it's not written in complete sentences, and if all mathematical calculations are not shown. I do not accept answers alone because that I need to know a student understands what we're doing, so they'll need to show me all of their work. If it's uploaded in the wrong direction and I have to try to grade it this way, then I'm not going to be able to accept their homework at that time. So once again, the periods that I am available for help will be 2A and 1B. I'm also going to be available at 7:30 a.m. and until 3:30 p.m. The best way to contact me will be via email. And if you know your son or daughter is having problems with a particular topic, please advise them to seek help from me immediately, as opposed to what students do and they wait till the day before the test and say, Miss O'Keefe, I do not understand anything. Chances are I'm not going to be able to help them do really well on the test if they wait for a particular issue. The students that usually do well in the class are the students that come and see me pretty much every day. So there are students that, that can, do things on their own, but there are students that need help. And if they need help and they come and see me every day, I had students that came and see me every Crusader period before school. She had the study hall. When I had study hall, she was there. After school, she was there, and she did really, really well. And that's a really dedicated student. So if your student wants to succeed in this class and need extra help, that's what I advise them that they should do. Thank you.